Welcome to these streets, these peeps and these feats, this world, these fights where strong men long been collapsed from the inside.
I really wanted Mandala to be about both artists and young people from ethnically diverse backgrounds and white working class backgrounds, because for me, it's all about inclusion. Whose stories are we telling and who's telling those stories, and how do you get into the industry? So all of those things were why Mandala was set up. That freedom to mix the work that you do with the young people and then have a pathway into the professional company, that works. And it's that excitement that I can see young people, coming into a training course where maybe they've done drama in school or never done drama and never thought they'd be good enough. And then they slowly develop a bit of a passion, then join the young company. They start to be treated in a semi-professional way. And then if they've been with us over a few years, they've started to develop masses of skill and talent. And then they can audition for the professional company and, that's happened. And then they get paid work and then they become employed by Mandala. And that's what I want to be doing. I want people that wouldn't normally be in the arts to be in the arts and to tell those stories.
You have to see stories about yourself and about people from your community, and that makes you feel like, oh, I can do that.
Though this be madness, yet there be method in it. What do you think this means?
I don't know.
A pupil referral unit is where young people permanently excluded from school are placed. 1 in 2 people in prison in the UK were excluded from school as children. 1 in 2. They should not be thrown out of school. They are stigmatised once they're in a PRU. And it's about having the support from a much younger age, because so many of these young people have gone through trauma. Their behaviour is just a symptom. It's not the root. It's the punitive nature of what goes on in our education system. And, when you meet those young people in the PRU, yes, it's hard to engage them. Nobody's saying it's not. But as one of them even said, the teachers don't realise what might have happened in that person's life that morning. So they might have been experiencing domestic abuse.
It's such an enveloping thing, the way they're groomed and the way that they're treated. And I don't feel like for a lot of people living that sort of lifestyle that they feel like they are being targeted at all. They feel like this is their family, this is somewhere where they can identify, finally.
In 2019, I spent 4 or 5 months working in the PRU in Oxford. We did also do workshops across the country, in Bristol, in London, in Coventry, as well as in Oxford. So all the material gets fed then to the writer, and it's all lived experience. And for me, that's part of our process that is crucial, that those young people whose lives we're looking at also are the experts in the story. So we take back the first draft of the play with professional actors, we show it to them, and we ask for their opinions. What works, what doesn't work, what would you change, what's missing? And then the final part would be that we take them to the full production and get them to be involved in Q&As with academics and counsellors and policymakers. So I suppose Mandala's trying to use theatre to make a difference to policy, so that it's not just a stimulus for conversation, it can actually have an impact.
If you don't talk, you can be seen as crazy, when oftentimes actually, if someone's choosing not to talk, there's a reason behind it and they're actually listening more than anyone else.
We use the movement with the podcast as kind of like an insight into the setting, the state that they live on, and then also an insight into the individual characters and their lives and how they might be feeling and also ultimately at the end Tatch's decision and the dilemma that he faces, and to just sort of pull out the emotions from that. So it's not like we're playing out a scene in the same way, it's more about trying to capture the feeling.
It's two opposites, like Mickey's at 100 miles an hour all the time, he can't sit still. And then the gang member has to be very still and very grounded, and he's got this presence about him, and then a deeper voice.
Ultimately, as a performer, that's something that I really enjoy doing, you know, being able to play lots of different people.
I want to keep doing work like this because this is what I would have loved to see when I was younger. See people like me or see stories that I can relate to. I would love to start writing as well, actually. It's really inspired me to start writing and create my own stories.
You get this adrenaline when you go on stage. After weeks of rehearsals, you carry all of that with you. And then the moment you step on stage, everything's so fresh and so exciting. It's so rewarding. It's so rewarding.
Theatre is about communication and connection between people in a live, energetic way. There's nothing like it. Bring cultures together, bring young people together and experience something outside your usual life, and take stories both to people with lived experience and the mainstream so that we start having conversations.